Hey guys, Lou Boyer here, and this is my final video of 2016. Now let's take a look. Okay, well, I got a lucky start in January in Singapore with this Lifer mangrove cat snake. I've seen these in pet stores before, but I've never seen one in the wild, so yeah, what a great way to start the year. February took me out to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, where I met up with Kurt Orion. I'm sure you guys have seen his pictures on Facebook or maybe on Instagram. He takes awesome pictures. Anyway, we saw quite a few of these Wallace's flying frogs, which were lifers for me, as well as this mahogany frog, which was a lifer for both him and I. Another cool find was this spiny terrapin. I don't know too much about turtles, but I think this is a pretty rare find. And lastly, we found this blue bronzeback, which was a lifer for me, and I believe it was also a lifer for him. So cool snake. Always cool to start off the year with three snakes you've never seen before. For those of you who have seen my videos before, you know I'm an airline pilot, and that's how I get to all these places for free. Actually, they pay me to do it. So yeah, what a good deal. Here I am landing back in Los Angeles. And while not at work flying the 747, I do take this biplane out occasionally, and flying around Catalina Island really low is always cool. In February, I was called by Nickelodeon to go help them with a TV show involving snakes, which was really cool. I got to meet Brian Barczyk, who I have still to get in the biplane, and Cam Newton, which was cool. My son was on the show, and my neighbor Grant was in the show as well. So yeah, good times. Okay, while in Southern California, I do as much herping as I can. Southern Pacific rattlesnakes are, yeah, they're everywhere. Undercover, you got to be careful. And where you find rattlesnakes, you typically find king snakes, typically under boards. And I found my fair share of kings this year, maybe 10 kings or so. Okay, in April, I got a new camcorder, a Sony AX53. It shoots in 4K, and it's a real game changer. The rest of the year was shot with this camcorder. Okay, Hong Kong in April, my first true test of my new camera, and a Lifer white spotted slug snake. Very, very, very cool. I continued to walk the canals in search of snakes. I saw plenty of frogs and geckos, but the true find of the night was this bamboo pit viper. A lifer for me. This year has been full of lifers, and what a sweet, sweet snake. I've seen a few green snakes in my life, but this one, man, it just glows. Look at the color on this thing. I removed him from the canal and put him up in a tree, and he rewarded me with a nice yawn. Check out the fangs. So every Memorial Day we head out to Palm Springs, and I take a ton of kids with me, and we go out and find snakes. This year was a good year. We found plenty of snakes, long-nosed snakes, shovel-nosed snakes, night snakes. Geez, what didn't we find? Glossy snakes, leaf-nosed snakes. We found them all. A treat for me was finding this black-headed snake. I know they're common in certain areas, but it's a lifer for me. I've never found one of these before, so yeah, very cool. Rosy boas are always a treat. This year didn't disappoint. I think the night we went out with the kids, we saw three or four of them, which that's a good night for boas. And the desert wouldn't be the desert without rattlesnakes. One of my favorites, the speckled rattlesnake. I don't see too many of these, so this was a welcome treat. I do see plenty of the red diamondbacks, and this year I probably saw, oh, I don't know, 5 or 10 of these guys. And it was neat to show the kids. Some of the kids had never seen rattlesnakes before, so yeah, a good treat for them. And me too. Okay, so June had me back in Japan, where I haven't seen a mamushi in a while, and I saw two of them this year. This guy was really, really cool. I love the way the stripe goes through the eye, and just the scales. I don't know, something about these snakes are really, really cool. One of the two venomous snakes I see in the Tokyo area. And the second one was actually quite a bit lighter, a little bit smaller as well, but real pretty coloration on that. So while not lifers, I haven't seen these in a couple of years, so cool finds. Okay, so we went out to Yosemite in July, and wasn't really expecting too many snakes. I was expecting lizards and saw quite a few of those, but was pleasantly surprised when we found this mountain garter snake. Wasn't sure what it was at first. It could have been a Sierra garter snake or a mountain garter snake, but yeah, mountain garter snake, lifer for me. And then we found this rubber boa. I've seen rubber boas before, but I haven't seen one before in this area. And yeah, they're just really cool snakes. Well, the end of July had me in Hong Kong, which was an awesome treat. I found this red-necked keelback. Never seen one of these before. Such an awesome snake. And cobras. Yeah, my first cobras. I saw two of them, one big one and one small one, and yeah, they're awesome. What else can I say? To top that off, many-banded krait, another snake I've always wanted to see, and yeah, saw two of those as well. So yeah, what a great Hong Kong trip. Well, August had me in Japan, where I saw this really colorful centipede. And I found another Japanese rat snake. I'd seen one before. The other one was bluish. This one was brown. Equally cool. I do like the bluer color better, but yeah, this guy was pretty feisty, which made it interesting. Also in August, I headed out to Singapore, where I found this beautiful big-eyed whip snake. They're common, especially the Oriental whip snakes, but yeah, I just really dig them. I also found this millipede, which I'd never seen a millipede before, and it's kind of awesome, isn't it? Okay, I didn't find too much in September. In October, I was down at the beach watching the professional skimboarding tour. This guy, Jackson Tenney, Juke Squad. If you haven't heard of him, you haven't been on YouTube. Anyway, it was cool to meet him. And yeah, just guys were out there tearing it up. It was a pretty awesome day for waves. The eventual winner, this guy, Blair Conklin, I don't know what to say. Look at that. That's just awesome. Good times. And the good times continued in October when I had a rare trip up to Seattle, where I searched out and found these Puget Sound garter snakes. Really cool. They're known for their blue color. The ones I found were mostly greenish with maybe a tinge of blue, but still very, very, very cool. Okay, November had me back in Huntington Beach at home watching this air show, which was really, really awesome. Really cool to see an air show from the beach. For those who haven't done it, I definitely recommend it. It'll be back again in September this year. And yeah, I'm just going to crank up the audio on this. Check out this. So later in the month, I was back in Singapore again, where I found this awesome birdwing butterfly in the daytime. And then I went out at night to find an elegant bronzeback, which was a lifer for me. I've never seen one of these before, so that was really, really cool. And then this male Wagler's pit viper. I've seen Wagler's before, but never the male, so awesome find. And then to wrap up the year of 2016 was a trip to Costa Rica, which I was expecting a lot of snakes. Found a lot of birds, a lot of butterflies. It's actually some really, really cool looking butterflies, but not many snakes. Went out at night and had a look, found a few frogs, and did find this fer-de-lance, which if I was going to find a snake in Costa Rica, this would be the one I'd want to find. Hey, well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please leave a comment below. I always like to read what you guys have to say, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe if you want to. It was a great year in 2016. I'm hoping 2017 is even better. So, yeah, all right, we'll see you.